Been watching the newest trend called the divorce effect. It shows women before their divorce and after. And when I tell you the glow up is immaculate for these women, and that is how I know that if you are a married woman and you are unhappy, I promise you 80% of your problem is your husband. Okay? These relationships are slowly you. Do you know in a relationship or in a marriage, men live longer and women quicker? Soul sucking. You know what? No. I had to come up with some adjectives. These men aren't just soul sucking. They are draining, exhausting, demoralizing, crushing, suffocating, stifling, depleting, withering. Okay? These men are you slowly. And forget spirit and soul crushing. They are life draining, energy sapping, mind numbing, miraculous, will breaking, emotionally draining, spiritually bankrupt, creatively stifling, psychologically exhausting. These men are killing y'all. But it didn't stop there. I got some more stuff. Instead of them sucking the life out of you, they are by 1,000 cuts. They are grinding you down, wearing you to the bone, bleeding you dry, killing your spirit and zapping your energy. Get rid of these men. They are slowly y'all.
The benefits of marriage for a man typically isn't all that exciting for him.
What are y'all losing?
I didn't say that, losing or gaining. I said it's not exciting for him. There's not a fairy tale that men are taught to you know, from a kid.
Background and religious
No, it doesn't. We're talking about over here in America, right? Listen, men are not enthusiastic on getting married. I didn't go to college. I didn't like all these different things. Marriage is on the last.
Are you speaking for the high percentage of men, or are you speaking for the low percentage of men that are doing this type of talk? Because this type of talk is not true for every man. There are men that have morals, come up in church, that grew up in family value, that come around family, that have structure of marriage and are used to seeing their whole family marriage. There are men that are like that. Then you also have men that don't have that experience and don't care for marriage. But I can't say.
What I'm saying is that marriage is not the number one priority. That's what I'm saying. I don't care if
for boys, that's the number one.
That's perfect. Now, let me finish what I was saying. It's not the number one priority for men. There's not a man that I've ever met in my life from high school on that said, hey, in high school, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to get married and have kids. No, it's like, yo, I want to go have this job. I want to maybe, acquire some type of accolades. Usually it's for his family and his wife. But the marriage point is the last thing on his list, the last thing to check off.
Let me break it down for you. A man's height, how he looks, how much money he makes, does not make him high value. It's not about the exterior or the materialistic things. It's all about the qualities he has within his core. He will be consistent in his choice of communication and behavior. He will have stability in his life and he'll be grounded. He's observant and pays attention to detail. He will have structure in his life. He will be clear and direct with his communication, and he has a fulfilling life with support. But not every high value man is the exact same. Just because the core qualities are the same, each man will be different in the way he chooses to express himself. But he will always be clear and stand firm in his decisions and actions. Just because there's so many high value men out there doesn't mean he's going to be in alignment with every high value woman he meets. That's where core values and core beliefs come in the picture. If your core values and beliefs do not align with someone, that does not mean the other person isn't high value. It just means they aren't the right partner for you. Height and money have nothing to do with it, and women really need to stop judging men on their height, physical appearances, and financial status. For example, I know so many men who are short, and they are great men that I would date, but they always date someone that is not deserving of their time because they feel less than because of what society has told women is high value. We have to cancel society's norms of placing people in boxes and really start asking ourselves, is this person in alignment with my core values and core beliefs?
So respectfully, no. This comment was made in response to a video where I talk about the pain of being no one's priority as a single person, chronically single person, late bloomer. And yes, you can feel this within a relationship when your partner or people in your life don't prioritize you, but we're talking about it specifically through the lens of someone who is yet to experience being in a relationship where someone is choosing to be your partner in life, or just someone who's single right now, and how painful it can be to feel left behind by all your friends. And this does not mean you're not used to doing life on your own. As someone who didn't start dating until she was 32, I got so good at navigating life on my own. I went to the movies alone. I traveled alone. I went to restaurants alone. All of my hobbies were introverted. None of them required companionship. And I did have great friends. Great friends I saw when they had time to fit me into their schedules. But that did not change the fact that I had no one to come home to at night. No one who woke up woke up with me and wondered, what are we going to do today? How is Alora spending her day? And my hope for that lifelong hope to have that person, to want that person in my life to prioritize me differently than how anyone else in my life prioritizes me, is not because of a character flaw. It is not because I cannot fill my own time. It is not because I'm bored on my own. I do not need this in a companion. I can take care of myself. I want it. And it is okay to have that standard in the wanting of something. I don't feel like we should penalize people for wanting to go through life with someone if that's what they choose. If someone's singles by choice, this is a different conversation. But when you don't feel like you have a choice, or if you've never had the opportunity to be in a relationship, that's just where the pain point comes in. My dog says hi. That's all.
I'm not getting married.
A vast majority of the good women that you want are going to expect marriage.
I can have a long-term girlfriend, stay with her forever, be monogamous, have 7 children with her. What changes?
He essentially wants marriage just without the government contract.
Right.
Why does the government contract scare you so much?
Financial liability. And I don't need the government involved. And I don't need some woke the judge telling me how I should distribute my money and how the assets should go. And, oh, my wife cheats on me and we've been married for 15 years. In California, I have to pay her alimony for her entire life. The government, the laws. Marriage is a contract, and I'm a businessman. When I look at what marriage is from a legal perspective, it's a terrible contract. Oh, here's a woman who didn't help you build your business at all, and at any moment she could be cheating on me, or even if there's no cheating, she could just be like, well, I don't like him anymore. Now he has to pay me for the rest of my life X amount of money. That's f***ing retarded.
First truths you need to understand as men if you're going to be in relationships with women. She has the power to completely destroy your life just by her say so, and there's little to nothing that you can do to defend yourself. She can take everything that you own. She can take your kids. She can make the schedule for you to never see them again, and she can even put you in prison just by her say so. She can make up an entire narrative about you as a person, who you are, who you want to become, things that you did. She can make up an entire story, tell her friends, tell the internet, tell her family. She will have zero proof, zero evidence, but she will always be believed. So tread lightly. And the other part about that is she could have your friends, your family, everyone that's close to you turn on you in the blink of an eye, even with little to no proof.
At this point in your life, whatever age you are as a man, if you managed to not get married, you're winning. Marriage is a scam. And I believe marriage is for weak and poor people, basically. Because if you're strong and if you can think logically, marriage is not a good deal. And sometimes we make mistakes and we get married anyways because we don't know better. But as long as you don't remarry and you learn your lesson, you're good. So don't make a mistake and get married. It's not worth it.
I know I am going to catch a lot of flack for this, but it's true. A woman who chooses a man without money is choosing a man without real options. You could be the most loving woman in his life, but if he has nothing, your voice slowly loses power. Even he will start taking you for granted. Money doesn't buy character, but it buys peace. It buys options and stability. When a man is broke, every problem feels urgent. Every bill creates tension, and you end up carrying everything. But when a man has his finances together, he leads better, provides better, and respects you more. Choose a man who has built his own leverage. Because in the end, Financial strength speaks louder than promises. Thanks, Olivia. How can people learn more from you? Just follow, like, and share to stay in touch.
I understand that women bring life. Y'all don't.
How do you get that life?
Go in the hospital and get a sperm donor. You don't need a man. You need a physical woman to bear a child for you.
And y'all need a physical sperm. Where does it come from?
That's for right now. Give it to
From a man.
You guys need a physical woman to have a bear a child.
Listen, women.
You don't need a physical man to live with, to have a child with.
Where you getting the sperm from?
The hospital, bro.
Women like you always try to eliminate men, and that's where the issue is. You just said you don't need a man.
You don't.
You don't want him. You want the potion that lives inside of his testicles.
What's funny about the way these modern women talk is they sit up in their room with their window unit in, watching reruns of Friends or the Golden Girls. They have a whole bunch of stupid stuff to say in order to ruin the woman's life. My life is trash. I don't know how to cook, so I eat a whole bunch of TV dinners. Whenever I have time, I go out to brunch if I have the money to, because I'm broke. Broke mindset. I'm a loser. I know we like to talk about the male loneliness epidemic, but I'm a loser. I'm in the middle, me and the other modern women. We are all in the middle together of a loser epidemic. And that's what you're seeing with a lot of these modern women. They're losers because they don't have anything going on in their life. Then they want you to be a loser along with them. Don't fall for it, ladies. Be happy with your life.
It seems as though everybody wants a traditional relationship these days. What we're forgetting is why we evolved from them in the first place. Oftentimes, traditional relationships were built off of control, survival, obligation. They weren't actually built off of love. Women didn't have a choice. They stayed in marriages not because they wanted to, it's because they had to. So we look back and we say, oh wow, why didn't anybody get a divorce? Well, it wasn't socially acceptable for women to get a divorce. Just because the divorce rate was low, it doesn't mean women were happier in marriages. Back then, we wanted security, and now that women are able to get that on their own, we want freedom. We want men with emotional awareness who will lead without controlling us, and who will honor our emotions and not suppress us. Ladies, you can have a traditional relationship, but let's not repeat traditional mistakes.
Girls, I have to ask you something for a second. Why do so many of you choose the man who looks good in pictures over the man who could actually raise your children, be a good husband, and provide for you? Why do you want Ken when what you really need is a king? Every day I hear women saying, I want the tall guy, the six-pack abs, the millionaire lifestyle, drives the right car. But let me ask you, when did a six-pack ever raise a family? When did a sports car ever protect your heart? When did a man's bank account ever teach you how your son is supposed to be a man? It's disgusting, honestly. You chase the perfect Instagram boyfriend, rich, good-looking, flashy, but forget the things that actually matter. His virtues, loyalty, character, values. A man who won't make you second-guess your worth. A man who will lift you up when life knocks you down. A man who will never betray you. You say you want a high-value man, but you're not even describing one. You're describing a Ken doll with a wallet, a prop. And the truth, that's why so many women end up hurt, broken, and wondering why love doesn't last for them. Real high value is not about money or looks. It's about legacy. Who's going to lead you? Who's going to challenge you in life in the best ways? Who's going to be the father you trust for your children? That's what makes a man high value. And until women start choosing based on that, the cycle of heartbreak will never end. So next time you make a laundry list of what you want in a man, cross off rich and hot for a second and ask yourself, who would I trust with my future? Because that is the man that deserves to be with you.
Are you dating a single mom? I have a secret for you. You will never come first. Her kids do every single day for the rest of your entire life. Why? It's very simple. Because they came before you. A bond was created without you and way before you ever entered the picture. Pregnancy, birth, sleepless nights, doctor's visits, school runs, everything. That bond is unbreakable. It's biology, it's instinct, and it does not negotiate. Before you, she was all over that exciting, dominant bad boy, the one that she felt raw attraction for. That's who she chose to have kids with. But once the kids are in the picture, the switch flips. She starts looking for the stable, reliable provider to step in, somebody who handles the bills, the security, the daily grind of raising those kids. And guess what? That is you. You end up raising another man's genetic legacy while competing with the children for her attention, time, emotional energy, and even intimacy. This has nothing to do with her being opportunistic, bad, or disloyal. This is nature running the program. Protect the offspring at all costs and secure resources for the survival, right? So ask yourself, today and early, are you okay being second choice forever? Are you okay investing in kids that aren't yours biologically? And are you okay having your needs last on her list? Whether you answer yes or no, know the game before you play it. And in the end, the choice is yours.
The society we're creating right now, more and more men don't want to get married. And I get why. There is almost zero upside for men getting married. This isn't me saying that men shouldn't get married, or women, but think about what society is telling men about what being a man is. Tell about society is men hardcore for getting married. If you get married and you get divorced, a woman takes 50% of whatever you have. 80% of relationships, the man is the biggest provider. So that's a big right off the bat. What are you getting in exchange for that? Second, if you have kids with her, you're because the government doesn't think that you deserve it. So even good dads who try to stay in the kid's life are. So there's a lot of men going, why the would I do this? The good news is that will correct itself, because eventually then people start going, oh, right? When you create mistakes, you only create more error. Error creates more error. So we've gone so far the other direction that more and more men are going like, why the would I get married?
The feminist movement is one of the biggest reasons for the divorce rate, because women have become so masculine. Woman gets in her masculine energy. A lot of times she'll be disrespectful to her husband. And men don't do well with disrespect. There's surveys that say that 80% of men say they would rather be alone and unloved than to be disrespected. And see, the feminist movement has taken it so far over the years to, it's not just equal rights anymore. Now it's men are being diminished and devalued and demoralized. What do we need men for? We don't need men. We can buy our own cars and we can vote. We can make our own money, run our own businesses. We can even have babies without men. And that makes men feel awful. A man doesn't feel he has anything to contribute to that woman's life. He's got to move on down the road.
I'm 30 years old and I couldn't be more uninterested in marriage and dating. I've done so much on my own that I'm genuinely unimpressed by the population of men that we have to date. I have not met one person that has made my life significantly easier. I literally lived in 5 different cities by the time I was 30 and I moved every single time by myself. I also bought a place when I was 25, a mortgage on my own. I know how to do electrical work. I know how to patch drywall. Like, as long as a man is truly making my life significantly easier.
It took me a second to realize like what she's complaining about. I genuinely believed she was like, oh, like I have all the money. I know how to do around the house. I've been single for a long time. I can travel. You can't give me anything that I can't give myself if it's material. Or none of those typical masculine things like hanging a TV or fixing electric. And I genuinely believed she was about to be like, I need emotional connection. I need a bond. I need a father figure for my children, my future children, like to build a family. Then she went on to say like, I can pay for my own dinner. I can pay for my own flight. I need someone that's significantly gonna make my life better. The f*** do you mean though? Do you want just more money? Okay, like, do you want someone that can just build an entire house by himself with his own hands? Like, what do you want? I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I thought you would want actual relationship. What was the point of learning all that if you're just coming on here to just be like, actually, I'm good on my own? Why are you making a video about it, bro?
Here's a hot take. The most capable woman you will ever date is a single mom. And I want to tell you why. She has wisdom that only comes with having been through something hard and choosing to keep going anyway. She knows exactly who she is and what she wants because she has had to figure out both of these things on her own. She takes care of herself because nobody else was going to do it for her. She's not sitting around waiting to be rescued. She's building something. And if you get to be a part of her life, it is because she chose you, not because she needed you. She knows how to prioritize. The things that matter get her full attention and the things that don't get cut. And when she does make time for an adult night out, she actually shows up for it because she earned it. She is not high maintenance. She is high standard. There is a difference.
What are 2 possible reasons why single people, especially those above 30, are becoming uninterested in marriage? There are 2 reasons. 1, the older you become, the more wise you become. The more you know your rights, especially with the numerous heartbreaks and experience you've gathered, you become self-aware of who you are. And at some point, you don't want to settle for less. And trust me, marriage is not for 2 people who have sense. One must have sense, the other must not have sense if it must work. 2, there are a lot of rubbish marriages around single people. They see how their friends and relatives are suffering. They don't want to suffer that kind of suffering.
Marriage isn't for you then. I'm a complete free person. I have complete agency over my... I don't need someone telling me what to do. Marriage is an institution. It involves restrictions. It involves being answerable to somebody. The whole process is like checking yourself into prison and saying, I'm a free person. If you are opposed to communal decisions and anybody stepping in and saying, sometimes I know you're free to do whatever you want, but that affects me. That makes me feel uncomfortable. If your response is, well, I do what I want, you're not fit to be a wife. Even if a man is like that, marriage is not for you. If you have a man who's like, I do whatever I want, you can't tell me what to do. If I'm going to go to the club, I'm going to go to the club. If I want to like pictures, I'm going to like pictures. Don't tell me, no worries. You're not a husband. When both of you understand that, there's sometimes you have to do what's best for the marriage rather than what's best for you. You're built to be married.
Hot take, but once you actually make your own money, you realize that the only reason that you craved a man was because you were in survival mode and you wanted somebody to help you buy your food or buy your life or do activities that you couldn't do yourself. And then once you actually have money, you could pay people to do those same things. And you realize the only thing that a man causes is stress and dirt and beard trimmings in the sink. And I need somebody to tell me, like, if you actually are a woman with a brain and emotional intelligence and you crave deep connection, but you also were successful and have your own money, like, how did you find your man and where? Because I've looked everywhere and I don't even know what I'm looking for anymore. I think I'm looking for a third cat.
You want to know the real reason she chose him over you? It's not what your friends are telling you. It wasn't his height. It wasn't his money. It wasn't his car. It was that he didn't need her. He had a full life before her, during her, and after her. You made her your world. He made her part of his. Women don't fall for men who orbit them. They fall for men they have to orbit a little themselves. If you're a man who is tired of watching women pick men who value them less than you would, DM me. You don't need to be worse. You need to be fuller.
So modern women keep on saying, well, we don't want the security. We want emotionally mature men. Obviously, we know modern women are not that. They just aren't. And we can go through and we can talk about it. There was another clip that I broke down. I spent about 5 minutes going through. This woman did like a worksheet, and most of that worksheet was a me. And this is the stuff that she wrote down. It was about, you know, what are some things that are wrong with you? I can be a bit of a baby sometimes. I can get in my own head, which I understand it. A lot of people get in their own head. And then she wrote down like a couple of other things, a few other things, to where she said, I can be unreasonable, right? That's you and most modern women can be unreasonable. This is the problem that men are having. Y'all seem to forget that, you know, in traditional relationships, once again, it's always the man doing you wrong. But nobody ever stops and talks about, hey, modern women, the things that they wanted back then, unreasonable. They just talk about, well, we had to be with y'all because we needed a bank account. We had to be with y'all because we needed security. We had to be with y'all because we this, and this. And you just oppressed and under this weight and this burden of having to be with a man because you can't get a debit card. They never mentioned that the woman had a lot of nagging, had a lot of griping, had a lot of complaining. Honey, can you do this? Can you go over there? Can you go see about this? Can you go pick this up down the street from Miss Johnson? Hey, did you pick up the milk from this person? Did you go over here? I mean, number one, number two, number three, they act like modern women were just stuck in the house. Some of these ladies had cars. Some of these ladies, even without cars, even without public transportation, they started walking, they got to that store, they were going out and doing things. Y'all must, I don't know whose grandmother y'all be talking to, or whose mother or whose great grandmother y'all be talking to, where they were just sitting out the house, staring out the window like, woe is me. It's like a freaking episode of Game of Thrones, where they locked in a room and they can't get out, and all they can do is stand in the window and just look and stare down at the open grass. Y'all be making it seem like women were going through that type of stuff. No, they were out working. They were out doing stuff. You were not. Y'all want to be lazy all day.
I know a lot of women want to know what dating is like after you become a single mom by choice. Like, how are we dating? How are we managing this? And I'll be honest with you, I am not somebody who prioritizes dating. If I have a night off, it is to do nothing, or it's to take my daughter out, just her and I, on like a solo date. I don't really care to be prioritizing that right now. Like, I have 2 relatively young kids, a career, like I got a lot going on, and I don't really feel called to that right now. All of that to say, that is something that is important to you, and you still also want to have a baby on your own, it is possible. Like, don't just look to me and be like, oh God, she's not dating, so it's not possible. You just have to be really intentional about your village and preparing for childcare and for help. You know, making it a priority. So if you do have a night off, you could schedule a date or things like that. I just choose not to really make that a part of my life right now. Who's to say what the future looks like? It is possible. I know lots of solo moms that do prioritize dating and romance and all that good stuff. So it's definitely possible. You just have to be really intentional about your time. I'm actually curious to hear from other solo moms that are dating. What is it like for you? How are you making that happen? And how do you feel about dating as a solo mom?
The whole reason people praise Jesus is because Jesus came from a woman who had him without having sex. Okay? So when I say women don't need men, okay, men start to get a little ego get hurt. Oh, who's gonna fertilize the egg? Who do y'all praise and why do y'all praise them? Okay, whole reason why Jesus is prayed. That's why they didn't praise Matthew, all them other people that had their chapter in the Bible, was because they was created through with 2 humans. Okay, women, we are the closest source to God, to the Most High God. We do not need men. Men are our sons. Everyone on this earth came from a woman. Every single person, human on this earth, came from a woman. We create life. Men are our sons, our offsprings. They came through us, not...
If you're dating for marriage?
I'm not gonna get married.
Really?
No.
Why?
A woman reserves the right at any given time, even if she's like super religious, you can just become a raging feminist and end the marriage. She's not going to go to God. She's not going to go to a priest. She's not going to go to her church. She's going to go to an attorney, a lawyer, who may very well be an atheist, who's going to defer to the attorney's recommendation, who has a financial motive and incentive to siphon as much money from the husband as possible. The husband probably has to pay for the attorney, and he's going to have to pay for his own attorney too. And then they're embroiled, especially if the divorce is contentious. It's going to be embroiled in a contentious divorce. He's going to spend thousands, maybe even 6 figures in legal costs. Even if she's a good woman, he doesn't know how to, first off, whether you're a man or a woman, most people don't know how to navigate the civil court system.
But if you close your eyes... Emotional!
Here's why everybody's dating life sucks, and here's exactly how you're going to fix it. Dating is completely broken nowadays because of social media and because of dating apps. I've said this 100 times, and here's exactly why it is. Meeting somebody on a dating app is much like starting a business relationship via cold call. You don't have any relationship with them, you don't know them, you didn't get referred, you have no reason to be talking other than you look pretty good. Social media makes it extremely easy for people to cheat, not be loyal, and weigh their options because they think they've got so many people waiting in the background. And guess what? Both of these tools are tools used to attract or meet people, not tools used to understand how to form a healthy relationship or to help you understand that maybe you should limit your options to 1 or 2 options, especially early on, and after a few dates, stop weighing your options. If you want your dating life to suck less, you should start meeting more people in person and stop focusing so much on meeting people that don't even live anywhere near you or online.
Here's some crazy research for you. So a third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner.
Most of the super beautiful women that you see on Instagram are single. They're single because they don't know how to act. They can attract you, but they can't keep you because they don't have no character. They don't have no loyalty, and they're fully engrossed into this era. What can you do for me? Well, you won't do for me, he could do for me. And then that man says, well, go get it from him then. And then now she goes over here to him, and then she says, well, what can you do for me? Well, you can't do for me, they can do for me. Then he says, well, go over there after giving something to him. Now you on 3 guys. It's only been 6 months. You got 2 new bags, but your reputation is wrecked.
Would most men date average looking women if they were deeply feminine?
Yes.
The BBL and booty girls would not agree.
I don't think the majority of the men
bundles.
that I know would ever wife a BBL.
Correct.
And I know a lot of very successful men. I think they'll have fun with the BBL. I think that good men want good women that are kind and that are nice. Most of
How you
these
think we
women
got
don't
here?
move like women. They be moving like men for real.
How do you think we got here?
To all of these loose women.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What?
That's not supposed to be funny. I'm sorry.
What? How we get to? Is that the question though?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
We
that's what
got
he's
to loose
asking.
women because this is what I think.
I'ma say that the guys who be most concerned with women's body count is the men that they not.
Every who care about
I don't know.
who you
I don't know.
never you.
I don't know too many dudes
Guaranteed.
who had the ability in their life to pick and choose the woman that they wanted that was concerned about what a woman was doing, bruh. The only dudes who got time to speculate about who a woman with is the nigga she not with. Like, let's just be practical for a moment, bruh. Like, if I'm with, excuse me if I'm with the, when do I have time to hate on them? Like, let's just be practical for a moment, bruh. Like, if I'm with them, when do I have time to hate on them? The dudes who be mad about who women choose and how they choosing to move and how they want to spread themselves around is the dudes that's not getting no play, bruh.
You agree or disagree?
Well, that was my question. My question was, is there a deeper reason as to why men say that? Is it because maybe you don't want her to be more experienced with somebody that has a bigger than you? No, just a genuine.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
If I lived another life, like, I don't regret having my children and I love my children. But if I got to the end of my life and they said, you can do it again, I wouldn't have kids.
Okay.
Because there's a beautiful thing about living a life for yourself too.
Oh my goodness, what a horrible thing to say about your own children. To not feel that sense of like gratitude and preciousness over the children you've created, I think is really sad. And I think that just goes to show how important it is to have people around us who affirm life, who love children, who love family. And I know we can't always control who is in our family and the attitudes they have, but it's really important that we protect our hearts and minds, the things that we are consuming, the conversations that we're having, to protect ourselves from bitterness towards kids or this wrong mentality that you are entitled to live for yourself. God made us to deny ourselves, to work, to sacrifice, to do really difficult things beyond what we think we're physically and mentally capable of for his glory and the good of other people. So this just self-centered mentality makes me sad.
Call men stupid in every possible way that you can. As time went on, I learned the way to make music. You write what speaks to you, and you write the music that you want to listen to yourself. Call men stupid in every possible way that you can. Let's call men stupid again.
This very reason, there are very few artists that I will allow my daughter to listen to. Sabrina Carpenter is definitely not one of them. Dua Lipa is one of them. Snow the Product, no problem. Probably the only female rapper that my daughter can listen to. Not listening to Taylor Swift. She's not listening to Olivia Rodrigo. She's not listening to any of these women who make music for girls who beat their boyfriends and then blame their boyfriends for it. Sorry. I already hear the feminists already. Oh my God, you're so controlling. You're so weird. But if I sat up here and I was like, I'm not going to let my son listen to music that blatantly disrespects women, y'all would be like, yay! And that's true. I'm not going to allow him to listen to that. But for some reason, society finds it perfectly fine when we teach little boys how to treat women. But once we start teaching little girls how to treat men, then it's a problem.
I ain't gonna lie, as a man, one of the worst feelings that you can go through is choosing not to talk to a woman because you're not where you want to be in life. Like, you don't got your finances in order, you don't got a car you want to drive, you don't got the place that you want to live, or talking to a woman, getting to know a woman, kind of dating a woman, whatever the case may be, and then you find out that you actually like her and she actually like you, but because you're not where you want to be at in your life, y'all really like start falling out down the line just because she may be where she want to be and you not where you want to be yet. So you kind of like, here, why she here? Yeah. And then you let some time go by, you look up, boom, now she with somebody else.
You know, and you'll listen to and hear a lot of modern women that like to hear themselves talk, and they'll just be as stupid as can be. We don't need men. The reason you praise Jesus is because he came from a woman. No, stupid. The reason people dedicate and praise and follow Jesus is because he did something for them. He made their life better. That's why. I'm not even going to get into the theology of it, but the point is, you have countless things in the Bible that people are giving account and testament of. You have the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They're giving an account of what Jesus was doing. He was going around, half of his ministry was teaching people, this is how you ought to live. This is how you ought to treat people. These are the things that you should be doing. He's doing the same thing in the Old Testament that he was doing in the New Testament. That's it. That's all he was doing. I'm doing whatever the law was. You had people talking about, what are you here for? I didn't come to change much. I just come here to tell you this is how I want you to do it. We have people doing the wrong thing, and y'all act like y'all don't understand. So here I am in a human form to show you how to do it. And that's why Mary got overshadowed by the Holy Spirit. So I don't want a man into this process, but I'm going to do it your way. I created it. I'm going to do it your way. We're going to do it human. I'm going to do my thing. Beep, beep, beep. It's like, essentially, think about it as pushing a button. Beep, 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 beep. I already know how the human body works. Okay, out pops a baby. Let's go. So I'm part of your world. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you what I've been trying to tell you this whole time. So that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He's trying to show you how to do it. Number one. Number two, if you do it like I'm telling you to do it, if you follow my direction, if you do it, here's the things that you can do. Here's the power that you can have. Here's the feeling that you'll get. He's giving instruction so that people follow a certain way of living, doing things. And then after that, this is your reward for that. Guys, y'all gotta stop acting so stupid all the time. You gotta stop acting so ignorant. We create life. No, two people create life. You need the man to do it. I don't know why you're so adamant about talking about, well, life comes from us. We create life. You need men in order to do that, stupid. It's like there's either they're forgetting about biology or they're completely skipping the class altogether.
I am Alien. I'm 26. I'm single.
How long have you been single?
Basically all my life.
Weren't you in love with a tree?
Yeah, I'm still in love with him. I still go see him. Yeah.
I guess trees do have this, right? Do you check? How do you check the sex of a tree?
I believe that majority of trees that are just planted around are male.
Okay. How many relationships with trees have you had?
Well, it just depends on what type of relationship we're talking about. Like I have
relationship.
I don't have relationships, but I have like one that I call my babe.
Has a tree ever cheated on you?
I mean, probably.
Switch quick.
More than likely.
Ugly women have so much privilege that people don't talk about, because when you're a beautiful girl, she attracts far more jealousy and animosity. People want to make negative assumptions about her. Whereas unattractive women, people don't make negative assumptions about them. They don't assume they're a liar. They don't assume that they're narcissists. They don't assume. And other women support unattractive women so much more. So I'll see someone like super, super overweight and she'll be trying on a dress on TikTok and she'll be like, guys, what do you think? It will be endless. Queen, you look amazing. Now, you take a beautiful woman who posts like that, and not only will they not respond to it, they get furious if they see their partner responding to it in any way, shape, or form. So they don't truly support women. They only support the women they're not threatened by. So
some of y'all's downfall isn't men. It's feeling bad for the ones who already showed you they don't feel bad for you. You ever notice how women will talk themselves out of peace? Like, I know he's a mess, but he's been through so much. Girl, so have you. And yet you still show up, pay bills, and try to heal people who wouldn't Google a therapist if their life depended on it. And listen, I say that with love because I was hurt. I used to think every man just needed a little support. That if I loved him hard enough, stood by him long enough, he'd finally rise to the occasion. But all I did was teach men that they could fall apart on my time. You don't have to keep saving grown men from consequences they created. Half the time, they're not sorry. They're just uncomfortable. And uncomfortable people will say anything to get back to comfort, even if that means crawling back to the same woman they drained last season. Meanwhile, you're sitting there confused, thinking his tears mean change. They don't, friend. They mean performance. The truth is, men choose themselves all the time. They'll leave, ghost, go quiet, and somehow still sleep at night. And you're up, trying to protect his feelings instead of your future. You can be kind without being a fool. You can care without caring. You can choose peace without apologizing. Moral of the story, stop rescuing people who were perfectly fine watching you drown. And if you want more real talk like this, join the Speakeasy at the link in my bio.
Part of the problem is that, you talked about my tagline, helping you vet men. One of the biggest things is that women don't know the signs of what to look for. So they will come out all big-eyed and excited and hopeful, hopeless romantic, and they'll pour into a guy who it's like the big bad wolf, who's got the horn, the fangs, and the fur, but Little Red Riding Hood didn't see it. And now she goes, that's how all men are. All men move dirty, all men. But if you know how to vet, and you only take time with guys who are eligible bachelors, because it's one thing if you date a guy, you're just not a good fit. It doesn't leave you with emotional scars and heartache and trauma. But if you manage to get a guy and you know how to treat him, oh my God, the softer side of Sears. Like if you take a man and you get to pour into him and he lets his guard down and he's vulnerable, men are incredible. So when I hear women talking about men ain't this, I'm like, not the ones I encountered.
I done met some hard men, very, very soft, and I like. All right, winos, if you enjoy shows like this and would like to see more with me on stage in your city, well, I'm coming. Tickets on sale right now. Link in the description box as well as the bio. Hurry up now while tickets last, okay?
So on my video about how a lot of men who say they want traditional relationships can't hold up the financial portion of a traditional relationship, I got a lot of comments like this. And if your definition of being a traditional man is just having upstanding character, then that's great. But what I mostly see from traditional lifestyle pushers is shaming people who don't live like they do and lamenting that they weren't born in a different time. And I'm not here to shame anyone who wants a traditional kind of relationship. I think if it's two consenting adults, do whatever you want. But a traditional relationship and holding people to traditional standards has a very specific definition. The woman is the homemaker and takes care of childcare while the man provides. And if you are a man shaming women online for not being traditional enough while you cannot provide for a household, you are living in a fantasy world. And if you could afford to provide for a household, I doubt you'd have the problems you do finding the woman that you're looking for. And chances are you definitely wouldn't be angry in comment sections on videos. I would hope you would instead be on a boat, happy somewhere. Because if there's a guy online commenting, a woman's place is in the kitchen, chances are they don't have the money to keep one there.
I saw this post. She said, I don't believe in hypergamy because most women choose to date broke, chopped, unemployed men. I have an opinion about this right here, but I feel like there's an even larger broker and chopper population underneath that like she's not acknowledging at all. Even in like an intentional way, but I think your brain just doesn't register.
Apparently, BRS is right more times than I'd like to admit. He's like kind of a genius, but also like really selfish and extremely, extremely BP in his own way. So basically, she's referring to the fact, or he is referring to the fact that she might be, just for the sake of visual, she might be here, but thinking she needs here. So she's saying, these guys are broke and they're ugly. And it's like, that's just your match. So when you see all these, I see all these girls with these broken, ugly guys, and it's like, you deem them as a broken ugly, and it's because you don't understand that's your level. and then they forget these humans even exist. Way down here at the bottom. Way down here. And in a lot of women's head, they're like, oh, well, obviously those don't count. And it's like, yeah, dude, they are humans, though. They exist. They're the majority. You're forgetting about those. But yeah, BRS, he did it again.
I think the problem is women say that they want a masculine man until they get one. And then they realize that a lot of their is not going to fly. A lot of that attitude, men are not going to put up with. A lot of the talk back or the constant checks, there's only but so long that man is going to let you continue to correct him before he's over it. And it's even like little things, right? So it could be, oh, I was supposed to turn right back there. Actually, you're supposed to turn left. Or, oh, if they're reading and they read a word wrong, oh, actually, it's this word. Like, there's only but so many corrections that a man wants. And why do you feel like you need to correct him? You're not his teacher.
But what if he's wrong?
Then he'll figure it out.
So you just gonna let a man figure it out. You ain't gonna be there to assist.
Assist is different from letting him figure it out. I'm a assist. If it's time for me to come in, sure, put me in, coach. I'm ready. And also, most times it's not time for me to come in. Does that make sense?
It does.
Sometimes I hear after I see these videos, and I'd be like, even before I was married, who were y'all dating? I would never fix my mouth to say some of these things that I see online. Now, I might think it in my head. Well, a fraction of it, because I honestly, these girls be going off, but I it couldn't, because I'm ruled and governed by respect and standard. I can't say certain things to you. I can't.
Chivalry rendered the position of aristocratic women in society rather ambiguous.
Men historically had everything, and all you got as a woman were the minor benefits of chivalry. Men had power, influence, control, and money. And women just got a system for men to compete for their attention. It's clearly a way of pacifying women to make you believe that you actually have some power, but it forces you into a restrictive gender role. This is very much a specific white European thing. If you haven't experienced other cultures, you might assume that this is the way things were meant to be. Romantic dating conventions in the Nordic, Asian, Muslim, or any other countries are all very different than they are here. In the end, would you rather have simps, sugar daddies, and patrons of your lifestyle, or real equality? I believe romantic conventions should change as inequality trends towards equality. It's okay to leave the fairy tale behind.
If it was socially acceptable, more masculine men would be dating each other. There would be more masculine men dating each other. The amount of men that do not actually like or understand women is insane. I just seen a video of a man saying he wants to marry another straight man. They're not gonna have any relations. They're not gonna have any or emotional attachments. But they're gonna buy a house together. They're gonna buy boats together. They're gonna fix up the house. They're gonna do all this stuff like you would do in a relationship. Well, I guess a partnership. And it just really got me thinking, if it really was socially acceptable, more men would be dating their homeboys, their friends, if it was socially acceptable, because they actually understand each other. They actually, I'm running out of time.
And there was a man that was trying to shame men, talking about, oh, it's socially, if it were more socially acceptable for a man to date other men, then they would do it. Now, the man that he was talking about said, we wouldn't be intimate or anything, but man, we go out there, we buy boats together, we buy houses together, man, we just be partners. I mean, we just get together and we would just have a time. Sounds about what a man would say. I don't really, what that's telling you, because y'all trying to say that men are DL, what that's telling you is, I have a man or I have a dude that understands me. So man, we just get together and build something, man. We get together, we talk. Hey man, I want this house. Okay. And what's going to happen in that house is, okay, you got your side of the house, I got my side of the house. And men are going to understand boundaries. Hey bro, I got this boat over here, man. Let's go get it. Sounds good to me. You want to stay out on the lake all day? Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Hey man, we got a boat. Where the jet skis at, man? We can go get those today, bruh. We can go get them. And they gonna have a good life together because they're in one mind, one accord. And here's the most important thing. They respect each other. They understand boundaries. I'm not attracted to you, but I like you because you understand boundaries. And surprise, surprise, men don't even need to get married to do that now. That's why men are friends now. Because, I understand the boundary that you got going on. Okay, cool. I already understand that. I already get that. So that's why we're going the way we're going. I'm thinking of a guy in a clip that said, most of the time now I just hang out with my boys. If I don't really have anything going on at the house, I see what they up to, man. I go hang with them. Pretty much. And he wanted to say at the end of the video, I'm running out of time. No, you ain't running out of time. You run out of stupid, dumb stuff to say. Your mind got overloaded with stupid stuff, and so you decided to cut the video. At some point in time, we got to have you guys quit shaming men. If that's all you're going to do, go ahead and shut up for me.